Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tips. Julian here for another exciting episode. This one of the most important episodes of the preseason. This is my top 25 goalies ranking. Before we jump into the ranking, guys, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I actually do have some exciting news. My draft rankings are finally live. So if you haven't already, check out the link below in the description to my Patreon. If you join my Patreon, you get full access to all my draft rankings, every position. And I really do appreciate all you guys that do that. And on top of that, there are still a few spots in the Fantasy Tip Members League. So if you do join my Patreon, all you have to do is DM me your interest in joining my league, and you get to play against myself and Max. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the winner gets to take home Fantasy Tip merchandise. And if you do live near Montreal where I live, I will hand deliver it to you like I did the winner last year. If not, don't you worry, I will ship it to you wherever you are in the world. Thanks so much, guys, and let's jump right into the content. And first on the list, obviously, there's no surprise here, it's Connor Hellebuyck. As usual, Connor Hellebuyck was an absolute stud last year, and if you played in a points-based league, there's a good chance that Connor Hellebuyck was a top 5 player in your league. So, yeah, he's being drafted pretty early, but he definitely could pay off that draft price. He'll start 60 plus games once again this year, and he'll play very well. Vasilevsky is the number 2 goalie for me. 63 starts last year is just absurd. They still have Jonas Johansson as a backup, so he's going to start the vast majority of the games again. Jonas Johansson is not a great goalie. They've also got a great team, so he should get plenty of wins. Shesterkin is a very good goalie. I have him at number 3. He'll get about 60 starts, and yeah, his team sucked last year, but he didn't. It really wasn't his fault that the Rangers were bad. The Rangers could turn things around and be deadly once again this year. I have Shesterkin at number 3. Jake Ottinger, one of the best goalies in the league on one of the best teams in the league. He should get at least 55 starts this year, if not more, and I have him at number 4. At number 5, I have Sergei Bobrovsky. Stanley Cup winning goalie, should be a lock for minimum 55 starts and plenty of wins on a very good Florida Panthers team. Mackenzie Blackwood I have at number 6. Colorado abuses their goalies in terms of games started. He'll easily get at least 60 starts if he stays healthy, and he proved last year that he's a very good goalie. At number 7, I have Ilya Sorokin. He belongs in this position if he gets the 60 starts or more that he got last year. Varlamov missed quite some time last year, but really, Sorokin was the only reason that they were even somewhat close to the playoffs. At number 8, I have Aiden Hill. And his backup this year is Akira Schmid, so I can easily see him getting at least 55 starts this year since he was alternating a lot with Samsonov last year, but they don't have Samsonov anymore, and Akira Schmid does not have quite as much experience in the NHL, so they'll probably have to rely on Hill quite a bit more this year. At number 9, we have Darcy Kemper. What a great bounce back year for him last year. I've always been a big fan of the guy, and the Kings are a really good team with great defense. There's no reason to believe that this year will be any different from last year. 50 to 55 starts at the very least, and lots of wins. At number 10, I have Sam Montembeault, and he's easily going to get 60 starts for Montreal. He's super underrated, and he is great value in points-based leagues at his current ADP. Now, just a friendly reminder that this list is more points-based league focused. Categories leagues are more save percentage and GAA focused, so a guy like Anthony Stolarz, who only starts 45 games, which isn't that great in the points-based league, is probably more valuable in a categories league, and he could even be more valuable than Sam Montembeault. At number 11, I have Philip Gustafsson, and he had a great bounce-back year last year. I'm expecting him to have another really good year in front of a very good Minnesota Wild team. At number 12, UC Saros. He's an amazing goalie. I love the guy, but he had an awful season. Can he and Nashville as a whole bounce back this year? I sure hope so, because I really love the guy, and I think that last year really wasn't his normal self. At number 13, I have Jordan Binnington, and he's always underrated, and he gets it done when it matters. He really showed that at the Four Nations face-off. He's in front of a pretty good Blues team this year, and that's enough said. At number 14, Linus Ullmark had a pretty decent season for his first year in Ottawa. He got them to the playoffs for the first time in a while, and they're going to be pushing for that once again. I have him at number 14. At number 15, I have Jeremy Swayman, and he had a shockingly horrible season last year, and he will be looking to bounce back from that, which is going to be tough, I'm not going to lie, because Boston's team really isn't that great this year, but Swayman has something to prove. At number 16, Dustin Wolf, and he's an amazing young goalie. He finished second last year for the Calder. Unfortunately, Calgary just isn't the best team, and he has to live up to those same expectations and do just as well as last year if he wants to justify his current ADP. 62.0 is pretty early in the draft, so it's definitely possible he puts on a similar season like last year, then that ranking might be a little bit justified. He could even get like 60 starts this year and 30 wins. I'm just being a little bit more conservative and cautious with this ranking because I don't think Calgary is the best team, and there's a chance of a sophomore slump. At number 17, Stolarz is a beast. He should get 45 starts or so for Toronto, with Wall getting the other 37, so as not to tire him out too much. But he's a really, really great goalie. He should put up a great save percentage and plenty of wins for Toronto. At number 18, Logan Thompson is another great goalie. Washington, I don't think is going to do quite as good this year. That's why I've had him as low as 18. And I also don't think that he's going to start that many games. I think 45 starts is probably what he's going to get. Washington likes to start Charlie Lindgren quite a bit, so Lindgren could get as many as 37 starts for Washington. I wouldn't put it against them. At number 19, Joey Daccord. And Joey Daccord had 55 starts last year. He should do something similar once again. He's a potential real big steal at his ADP. And at number 20, New Jersey's a pretty good team, and Markstrom starts at least 2 out of every 3 games, making him pretty valuable. At number 21, I have Thatcher Demko, and he should go into the season as the starter in Vancouver. He dealt with a major injury last season, which is why he didn't start a lot of games. Assuming he's fully healthy, he should have a really great year. I have him penciled in currently for 45 starts, but if he plays really well, he can get even more than that. At number 22, Stuart Skinner, and he literally doesn't have an ADP right now on Yahoo, which is absolutely insane. So unless the Oilers sign Hart or something, they're going into the season with Skinner as their number 1 goalie again. He's definitely being slept on ADP-wise because the Oilers are going to get plenty of wins. At number 23, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, or 6K as I like to call him, is a fantastic goalie, but had an abysmal season last year. Look for him to bounce back a little bit this year. At number 24, Lucas Dostal could have a really nice season this year like he did last year. He's definitely the full-time starter in Anaheim now that Gibson's gone, and he has something to prove. I'm a big fan. At number 25, Spencer Knight. In this position, I'm assuming that he's going to start 50 games or so for Chicago, and that's definitely possible because he is their goalie of the future, and Chicago is going to want to show some confidence in him. Because I love you guys, I have 5 more goalies ranked. Here are 26 through 30. At number 26, Frederik Andersen is this low because of the massive injury risk. He literally always gets injured, and therefore, even if he does somehow stay healthy the whole year, he's only going to play 41 games because the Hurricanes will not start him more than every second game because you're going to risk injuring him. At number 27, I have Jet Greaves, and he is in this position assuming he does steal the crease from Merzlikins and starts 45 games. He could end up starting a lot more than that or less depending on how he does, so this is a fairly conservative ranking for Jet Greaves. At number 28, we have Peter Kochetkov. And he's this low assuming that he gets 41 starts. However, if Anderson gets injured, which he always does, Kochetkov does move up the board quite a bit, but we can't automatically assume he's going to get injured. So for now, Kochetkov is at 28. At number 29, we have Cam Talbot. And he is this high because Gibson is also a huge injury risk. So I think they split games pretty evenly to try to keep Gibson healthy. And then if Gibson gets injured, Talbot will get even more than half the starts, so I like him quite a bit. At number 30, I have Karel Vejmelka. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I had Vejmelka significantly higher earlier in the offseason, but now that we heard that Ingram is fully healthy and he's going to be their backup, a healthy Ingram is actually a pretty good goalie, and he's going to push for some starts. And they may split fairly evenly. Right now I have Vejmelka penciled in for 45 games and Ingram for 37. But again, if Ingram plays even better than Vejmelka, it could be the other way around. Some other goalies that just missed the list include Kevin Lankinen, Tristan Jarry, John Gibson, Joseph Woll, Connor Ingram, and Yaroslav Askarov. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the list. And I'll catch you all in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.